And we see here the start of the Temple Challenge Cup. Oxford Brookes University C on the left. University of London A on the right. The coxswains just raising their hands to signal to the umpire that they're not quite straight and ready. But once their hands are down, they're ready to go, and they are away. Oh, those coxswains coming mighty close to one another. As they're coming past Temple Island here, we can see University of London A crew on the right-hand side. In the purple rowing suits, their coxswain just swinging out a little bit back on track now. Oxford Brookes University C crew here on screen. Brookes getting a call from the umpire. You can see the umpire standing up there, waving the flag, telling them to move over to their station. So that coxswain, that's Meg Joyce in the coxswain seat, 19 years of age. She'll have to get her crew back into their station, which it looks like she has done. Sometimes tough for the coxswains because they have their back to the umpire, so they have to listen out for that call. And we have seen crews disqualified in recent years for not adhering to the umpire's call and staying in their lane.
Well, look, this is perhaps as transparent an indication as we can give of just how competitive Brookes' squad is, and that their C crew, and it's probably their perhaps D, E crew in the actual regatta as a whole, is still competitive with the ULA crew, who are one of the top rowing programs themselves in the UK. As they approach the quarter-mile barrier market, it's a remarkable sort of achievement to have an eight who flows so well. If you look at them there, they're just catching the water out front and just levering the boat through. They don't look like they're really trying. It's almost gliding.
Yeah, these crews fairly evenly matched for weight in terms of the rowers, matched in their size. So this is quite a contest here. We can see these crews locked together. Maybe the crew closest to us, that's London. They are maybe a seat up here at this early stage, Tom.
Well, I think I heard there the Cox and the UL crew, Ben Rich, just give his crew a bit of a shout there. He wanted the boat to move up and out of the water, and I think that's what they did. They just pushed on their classic sort of barrier move that boats tend to plan for, just to see if they can close this race out a little bit earlier than perhaps their opposition would like. But Brookes certainly hanging in there, and if anything there, Sarah, they've come and achieved parity again.
Yeah, this is very exciting here, as we can see these two crews level pegging down the course. University of London there on your screen. They're throwing everything at it here. Oxford Brookes. Such formidable opponents, to see their name drawn next to you certainly is nerve-wracking. But as you say, it's their C crew, so incredible depth in that program to be competitive here with an A crew.
Yeah, what a scout this would be for Brookes, but a lot of work yet to do. Those sort of overhead shots that hang behind the crews themselves. Hard to get a gauge on what the margins are there, but I would say pretty much neck and neck, almost impossible to discern who has the advantage at this stage.
Yeah, this Brookes crew, they were third in the University Eights at the Marlow Regatta, fourth in the C final of the Open Eights at the Metropolitan Regatta, and they won the C final of the Intermediate Eights at the British University Championships Regatta.
See here the crews just coming alongside that static camera, and it looks like UL have maintained that margin but haven't really extended it. Brookes hanging on in there, and if you've watched Brookes rowing before, you'll know that they always put in a pretty fierce charge towards the finish. UL canny racers themselves, I'm sure they'll have an idea of what's coming for them, and it looks like perhaps they've stretched out their sails around 11. Yeah,
look, I think Brookes have done a great job. They've thrown everything at it in the first half of this race, but starting to tire now and moving away, it is the University of London A crew, which we would expect to see, but very impressive challenge from Oxford Brookes University C crew, throwing everything at it to see if they could cause an upset here, and what an upset it would have been. But leading by a length now, it is the University of London A crew over Oxford Brookes University C crew in the Temple Challenge Cup.
Yeah, UL A crew rarely make an exit on the Wednesday of the regatta. They've been knocked out by American opposition in the last 2 years in the form of Princeton and Yale. So imagine if there are any American names in the draw due to meet them in the latter rounds, they'll certainly be wary of those. But this race not done and dusted by any means. Brookes look like they're winding it up. A little look over there by the stroke. Hamish, Bowie, just seeing if this race is still possible to overturn. You can see there the pain etched on their face. They're really going to go for this here, Sarah.
They are, absolutely, and it looks like they're starting to close that gap up again. This is incredible. It's really been open and close with these gaps. I can't believe this. The Oxford Brookes University C crew almost writing them off there, saying, yep, the A crew's moved up. This is what we expect to see. But what a comeback here. What a final challenge from Oxford Brookes University C.
Yeah, what a fantastic feeling for those boys as well. They'll be deep in the pain zone now, but the knowledge that every stroke they take, they're just inching back. They'll take great heart from that, and if they can continue to move, they're sort of running out of water here. I can see the bows if I look straight down the course of the UL crew coming into view. So running out of course, but they need to mount their last charge now.
Oh my gosh, is there anything worse, Tom, than knowing that you're absolutely spent and that you've worked for a lead, and then to see a crew start coming back through? It must be the most gutting feeling in the world. But University of London A crew, they have responded yet again to the challenge thrown by Oxford Brookes University C crew. You can see through gritted teeth. I think they're going to hang on as they're coming down past the stewards' enclosure now.
Credit to both crews. What a race that was.
Wow, what a row. What an impressive result from the Oxford Brookes University C crew to mount those challenges repeatedly down the course at the University of London A crew. But they will take the win. They will progress in the Temple Challenge Cup. What a brave row by the rowers from Oxford Brookes University, outclassed today.